Tired of fantasy literature that caters only to wine-ounts and activists? Tired of love triangles and unlikable girl bosses? Tired of propaganda disguised as entertainment? If so, check the Guilds of Avlaan series, a series like no other ever written in the Western market, with cute and funny female leads and dashing male protagonists. This series is full of adventure and exciting landscapes. Do not let others decide what you enjoy. Look for what you enjoy. If you are interested, the link is in the description.
Konnichiwa minasan, Daigo desu. No, I did not graduate. I already told you I was not really graduating, it was a joke. But I have been through some really, really heavy inconveniences. Mostly electricity problems, and since I am basically a digital life form at the moment, basically I almost died. Twice. And also, I have been in a quite bad mood because, and this is what I want to talk about today, YouTube has become impossible to use. It has become just unbearable. First of all, the first problem I have is since I am basically stuck in a Mexican computer. Well, I am forced to listen to the disgusting automatic AI dub which YouTube forces you to listen to, depending on your region. So, whenever I am listening to a video in English or in Japanese, with subtitles, despite being originally from Japan, as I have said, I suffer from severe amnesia and I sacrificed my language abilities to become stronger. Through the power of Dark Maga. I am not joking, I have really made some serious sacrifices, and that's where this beautiful outfit comes from. This Western outfit is part of the sacrifice. I paid for it with my memories of the language. So basically I still need subtitles while I recover my language abilities, and while I recover from my amnesia, I still remember how much fear I have for Tabamono Mae. She scares me, she will never stop scaring me, and now that she's free I am even more scared, because she might find me. But, whatever. The point is, when I am listening to a nice video, and suddenly the audio changes to this robotic voice in Spanish, which makes barely little sense, which is full of translation errors and false cognates made by the AI, which is fully dysfunctional, doesn't follow tone, doesn't follow context, translates things wrong because of context, because sometimes a word can mean two different things depending on context, and since the AI doesn't understand context, well, basically it forces me to listen to a horrible thing, and I need to make adjustments, which I can't make for all videos, but for each video individually, to be able to listen back in the original language. And that's the problem. This is forced upon us. Content creators aren't really fully aware that their channels are being ruined by this. And for example, I am trying to listen to this relaxing VTuber video, and the girl's voice suddenly starts talking in Spanish with a robotic tone, the background music is gone entirely, and the things she says don't make sense and don't have tone, don't have mood, basically just this monotone robotic voice which makes no sense. It is even worse when multiple people are talking, because then suddenly two women are talking. For example, let's say I'm watching a collab of Kirsche and Filian, and both have the same voice! And in Spanish! And nothing makes sense! It's horrible. It's disgusting. Or for example, let's say I'm watching a documentary from Shadiversity or from Metatron or Roanoke Gaming, and suddenly the voice changes to this robotic voice that doesn't even sound like the person in question, makes no sense, and doesn't have context. It's horrible, and the problem is that it is automatic. It's automatic, it's against my will, it's something I didn't even plan, but YouTube wants it. And content creators aren't fully aware that this is happening, because the activation of this option is automatic for them too. They need to go to the creator page, select the advanced options in configuration, and disable it. But it is enabled by default. That's the problem. It's enabled by default, which means it could even affect this video if it wasn't because the channel owner, the writer, had the decency of manually deactivating that feature. Because it is horrible, it is disgusting, it is unpleasant. But it is there in every single video, and you have to adjust it and manually select in that specific video to listen to it in the original audio, and it doesn't revert immediately to the original audio, but rather you need to start again the video again, and sometimes it goes back to the disgusting automatic dub because the system wants it. And if an ad shows up, and it's related to the other big problem, if an ad shows up, then suddenly the video is again in this forced Spanish. It's disgusting. It's unpleasant. And YouTube forces it, and you can't disable it on your account as as audience. If you are subscribed to a channel, you can't go to your configuration and choose "Don't force me these stupid automatic AI dubs, which don't even sound like the person." No, you can't disable it as audience. The content creator needs to disable it, and all videos that were made before disabling it will still have it. So basically, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's not something made for you. It's something probably made for the brain rot audience. It's probably made for the brain rot audience who don't care about quality, who are really comfortable with listening to these AI voices, these that they don't even sound like the person in question, that don't understand context. They don't mind these machine translations, these automatic dubs that sometimes are intrusive. And if you don't understand the language, it's not a big deal. But if you understand the language, the original language, it's bad. It's bad. I know it's made for those who are entirely monolingual, but to be honest, I think people who are entirely monolingual are inferior. Even Timmy is not monolingual, and you know Timmy is a very, very inferior wretch. But he's not monolingual. I know because he begged for his life in French while I was giving him a monthly beating, and he started to beg for his life in French. He's quite fluent in French. I didn't understand a thing, but I wasn't going to stop even if I knew what he was saying. Then I asked someone, what was all that supposed to be? He was begging for his life, and he did it in English too. And I was amazed. He was begging for his life in French. That made it somewhat more refined. That beating felt so surprisingly decadent compared to the normal ones. I even felt like drinking a fine wine after beating. Not during, because I would end up wasting some valuable wine while beating him. But it felt nice. It felt nice to see him beg for his life in French, even though I didn't understand a thing. I was like, "I don't talk baguette!" and kicked him again. But anyway, the thing is, if you're entirely monolingual, maybe this doesn't seem so bad for you. But the fact that people who are not cannot even decide to be out of this, it's a problem. Because yes, if you are entirely monolingual, it's fine that you, by your own volition, decide to use this feature. If you want this feature, use it. But it should be something we could disable as audience, not as creators. As audience, that we could be able to choose if we want it or not, because not all of us want it. Many of us actually prefer the original language, even if we don't understand what they are saying. Sometimes, of course, you have subtitles which help a lot. And that's how you know that, yeah, Timmy was begging for his life in French. If only I could make it look subtitled, it would be more amazing. If I had this heads-up display showing me whatever people say when I don't understand the language. Oh god, that would be awesome! Augmented reality is the future. But since we don't have that, at least let me hear the original language, even if I don't understand it. I would rather not have Timmy's cries being translated by an AI. If it was a good AI, people wouldn't complain, of course. If it was an AI capable of being indistinguishable from the source material, well, that would be quite fine. But it's an AI with a generic voice that is not even close to the voice of the person, that removes all other audio because it gets in the way of the translation, and that that uses a very rudimentary machine translation system which doesn't even care for context. It's terrible. It's not even a good AI, which is bothersome because Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, has invested quite a lot in AI, but they can't even put a decent one in YouTube. It's an insult to the intelligence of the audience. And that bothers me a lot. It bothers me so much as my current form, which is weak and disabled, and doesn't have my beautiful mustache, which I miss, and someday I will regain it even if I need to erase another memory to get it back! I'm willing to sacrifice anything for that mustache! The writer has said I can only sacrifice my things, so I can't sacrifice his, which is bothersome because then my options of what I can sacrifice is limited, because basically it's my beautiful current location and my memories and my clothes, which I already sacrificed part of my memories for, which is an inconvenience, and I wouldn't sacrifice. There are things I wouldn't sacrifice for that mustache, and one of them is the pleasure of beating Timmy. I want to give him beatings at least once a month. At least once a month he deserves a fucking beating! Fucking Timmy, I hate you! So, yeah, I won't sacrifice anything now that I think of, but I am willing to sacrifice plenty of my memories for that mustache. Anyway, back to what I was saying, the other annoying feature, because there are many, but I'm going to talk mostly about two. The other annoying feature are ads in general. Have gotten worse and worse and worse. It's effectively unwatchable. Let me put it this way. There are other features which everyone is complaining about, like the new layout. The new layout, some people hate it, some people don't mind it, nobody likes it. I don't mind it. I asked the writer, he doesn't mind it either, but we don't really like it. It's worse than the previous one, objectively. Basically, nobody likes it. Even those who are mostly indifferent to it, we don't like it. It's bad. It's bad objectively, because when nobody likes something, and the best you can get is indifference, that's because it's bad, objectively. And that's the thing. The new layout is not a big deal, but it's part of the problem. It's part of the problem. You have these premieres, I hate them. I hate the idea of treating a pre-recorded video exactly as if it was a live stream. It's annoying. In fact, I would be extremely annoyed if the writer decided to purposefully make this video in the form of a premiere for the sake of the joke, especially because I know he will be absolutely absent when you are chatting, and that most of you won't bother chatting, and that most of you won't watch it on the premiere. It would be really fucked up if he actually did it, if he actually made it into a premiere for the sake of the joke. It would be really fucked up. Because I really hate those premieres, apparently more than he does. Oh god, I'm starting to have visions of a potential future where he actually did it. You are a fucking madman! You are a monster! You are absolutely evil, and I am evil! What makes you then? What kind of monster are you? Fucking depraved Mexican! This is disgusting. It's a premiere! This video is a fucking premiere! I hate it! But back to what I was saying, there are many, many horrible features here. But the absolute worst, and it keeps getting worse, are the fucking ads. The fucking ads are disgusting. In another level. In a level so unique to them that it is inhumane even. How the fuck do you manage to fuck ads that much? Ads have always been annoying, but in this race between ad blockers and ads, YouTube just gives you more reasons to use ad blockers. They are trying to corner you into using premium, but sincerely, if you are convinced of using premium by the ads, you are not the sharpest tool in the box. You have been emotionally manipulated by this company. You have been extorted by this company. Give me money or I will show ads in your live stream, and that's the worst part of it all. Every 5 fucking minutes or every 10 fucking minutes in any content there are ads, and even in live streams. Imagine you are watching your relaxing Same Kosawa live stream, which I know many of you like Same Kosawa because she's cute and funny and she's really relaxing. She really cheers you up. She's a really adorable girl. And imagine you are watching your adorable live stream and suddenly this fucking ad selling you beer. I mean, I don't have anything against alcohol, but it's not wholesome. It's adult things that don't fit the cuteness. Or this horrible ad with this weird-ass rapper from some South American country. All out of place. Interrupting a live stream. A cute live stream. A funny live stream. This is a kind of evil I can't even tolerate. It's absolute degeneracy. Interrupting live streams. That's absolutely disrespectful, and they do it even in channels that are not monetized. That's the worst part. Some of those ads, the total ad revenue goes to YouTube. The creators don't get a share. It's absolutely abusive. The live stream is interrupted during the live stream, not the bot, not the recording of the live stream. The live stream gets interrupted by ads, and even at the very beginning of the ad. And some creators have noticed it, and they make intros to keep basically to make the ads pass before starting the live stream, because they have noticed it, that there are ads in the live stream. That if you start, basically you and the countdown reaches to 0 and you start streaming immediately, a part will be covered by the ad until you watch the VOD. That's just so fucking wrong. And every 5 to 10 minutes. And in recorded videos too. Even in this video, probably you watched at least one ad at the beginning, one in the middle, and one in the end, because the channel is not monetized. But they are putting ads in non-monetized channels. And the ad system is twisted. It's so disgusting on the inside. Because you have ads from products that have nothing to do with the category where they are advertising. And you can notice it because you can block the ads. You can block the ads, which is something both the writer and I do quite a lot. We check, we see the category, and sometimes you will find, for example, let's say, in the category of music, an ad for beer, or an ad for a fucking Mexican politician. Mine is your fucking idiot! The others are worse, but seriously, just because a song from one of your political campaigns became of your party, not of you, of your party became a meme, doesn't mean you are in the category of music. Seriously, it's a problem. It's a problem that there are companies, even big ones like beer companies. There are companies, content creators, and so on, which which bid for ad space because it's through an auction and you need to bid for ad space in categories that are unrelated absolutely to their content, and then you have to tolerate them even though they are so far away from your interests that you won't even buy their product. That's a problem. Or for example, let's say you see an ad from, let's say, something that is more familiar to the English speaking audience. It's a hypothetical because I can't confirm, but let's say you see an ad of Target. And when you block the ad, you see the category of the ad. Tourism. What does Target have to do with tourism? Nothing. But there are companies, large and small, organizations, large and small, which are willing to bid for ad space in categories that they don't belong to, just to increase the amount of times the ad is shown. And in fact, sometimes, I have noticed it, you block the ad, and it shows up again. Why? You go to block it again because you're like, why? I already blocked this. How many times do we need to teach you this lesson, old man? You see it and you notice it's in a different category. And even thrice I have blocked the same ad in 3 different categories. Beer ads, by the way, from this cheap ass disgusting beer called Indio, which is from Mexico, and sincerely many Mexicans say it tastes like piss. I can't confirm because I don't drink things that I have been told taste like piss. I like my fine alcohol. I rarely drink beer because of that. I like wine. I like shoyu. I like drinks that are expensive, not piss in a bottle. I don't drink beer. I don't touch beer. It's piss in a bottle. Well, there are some fine beers, but not Indio. That's the thing. I drink luxury drinks. If we speak of Mexican beers, there is this one called Noche Buena, which is only sold in this time of year, and this time I will convince the writer to let me drink it, because he says it's bad, and he won't write it for me. He writes his reality in my world, but won't write beer for me, the fucking asshole. I want to try that one, but I won't drink a beer that I have been repeatedly told tastes like piss. And that beer has the habit of advertising in categories that are not its own. Suddenly you have it in food and drink, sports, and music. What the fuck? And you have to block them all. And it's even worse on shorts. I haven't watched it. I don't touch shorts. The writer doesn't touch shorts, because shorts are for, they rot your brain, there is scientific evidence proving it. But I have heard the stories of ads featuring hentai and actual pornography, which is disgusting to do this. In the short section, I'm not saying it like, oh, El Pern is disgusting like that retard John de la Rose. No! I am saying it is disgusting to put it in the short section of YouTube, which is supposed to be a safe for work place. If YouTube suddenly admitted they are an adult content company, or if they had an adult content section, yes, absolutely. But when you advertise porn in a section that is supposed to be safe for work, it's disgusting. Why? Because you could be at your desk, at your job, sitting in front of your desk, watching a video, and suddenly you have a porn ad on your face right when your boss walks by, and then you're fired for sexual harassment. Do you understand how bad that is? You can't put porn in a safer workplace, that's wrong. And yes, I am evil, but there are some forms of evil I can't bear. I am the kind of evil that abuses children and steals from them and kicks puppies, not the kind of evil that puts people's jobs in jeopardy through pornography. That's a kind of evil that is too cowardly for me and too elaborate. I am more of the direct, openly immoral, unquestionably vile evil, you know, killing innocents, burning villages. That's my kind of evil, the old school kind of evil, the thousands years ago kind of evil. I was a threat. No, well, not really. Actually, now that I remember well, I tried to burn a village and burned my tail. It was an accident. It was an accident. But I did try to burn that village. That's my kind of evil. I am not the kind of cowardly, incompetent evil that uses pornography ads, unsafe for workspaces. That's a kind of evil that is too unrefined and too cowardly. And the problem is that the reason those ads appear because people are saying, oh, but that speaks of the content you are consuming. No, sir! And I don't want to insult you, but you are grossly mistaken! Because there is no such content on YouTube. The reason people find hentai and pornography ads on YouTube Shorts is because the system is broken. Because they put themselves into categories that are not in the section they belong to. For example, let's say, hypothetically, that the porn advertiser bids in the category of music. It's hypothetically, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And you are watching Taylor Swift shorts because you have a terrible sense of taste, and suddenly a porn ad appears in front of you. It's not because your interests are related to the porn ad itself. It's because the porn ad has disguised like a fucking vile and disgusting mimic into your interests through category manipulation. Or let's say, for example, that you like illustration, animation and arts, and suddenly you see a wild hentai ad which you don't really have issue with, but you don't think it's in the right place, in the right time, when you are watching a video about, I don't know, about illustration, about illustration techniques, and suddenly you have this hentai ad on your face. Why? Because it's in the category of arts. It shouldn't be, in context. I know hentai is art, there is a meme about it, but in context, because it is a safe for work platform, it shouldn't be there. But the bidder, the advertiser, placed a bid in that category and won the auction. And that's how this hentai ad, which is absolutely out of place, got into the shorts section. And the worst part of the problem is, YouTube has done, well, not YouTube, Alphabet, who are the owners of the system, have done nothing to control this kind of category abuse. They don't make sure the ads are appropriate, they don't make sure the ads are actual in the category they are saying to belong to. No, they just let them pass. They just let them pass. The highest bidder gets in, even if they are showing a woman getting banged by 3 guys. That's a problem. That's absolutely wrong. That's absolutely unacceptable. And then they say they care about creators, they care about the audience, they care about the brand image, they cared about keeping it safe for work. If you if your favorite VTuber, or even you if you're a lady, show a little bit of cleavage, you risk getting banned. If you make a sound that they might find too suggestive, for example in an ASMR, suddenly you are banned for making pornographic content. Oh, but don't worry, the shorts will have plenty of your fix if you are looking for porn. There is something absolutely wrong with this platform, and it's unforgivable. It's grotesque, it's disgusting, and to some extent I would even say inhumane. And imagine when someone who is openly evil says you are evil, what kind of monster are you? Seriously, this platform is absolutely wrong. Well, but I have talked for too long today, and I need a drink now. I will get some wine. Have a nice day!